Hey there everyone and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about how I'm changing the LEGO wall train mount that I have. This is the one I currently have. It just sits on a shelf, but I don't know, I just don't really like it. It kind of is a bit bendy and I can't really see anything underneath it. So I've got a bit of a gap at the other side where I really want to try and put something a bit different just to see if it works any better. So first of all, I go to Thingiverse where I type in some kind of LEGO train track wall mount, and what I'm looking for is something that I can 3D print. And this is what I managed to find, and it looks pretty perfect. That's what I'm looking for, something that's a bit cool and I can see the train underneath. So this is the part that I need to print here. Okay, so I simply find the file that I need and I download it. Next I put this into my splicing software and it does its magic. And this is what will end up getting printed out with some supports built in. So as you can see, I print out 3 at a time. And here we go, here it is printing. Now at this point I only had red PLA, which is why it is in red. My intention was then to simply paint it or spray paint it afterwards. That does change, as you'll see later on in the video. And there we go, finished. Now I need to remove all the supports, so I use some thin wire cutters here, and I've speeded this up because this took absolutely ages to do, and I quickly realised that this wasn't really going to work very well. But anyway, I persevered with it. Once I cleared all that, so I thought I'd do a little bit of a test with some track that I have. And it simply clicks into place. Perfect. Now I decided that I needed to make this a little bit more efficient. So I went into Mesh Mixer and I did a plain cut. So I cut out the little extra bit that's on at the end because I didn't really need this, and that's just wasting PLA and time. So I simply find where the little gap is. And then I slice it, do the separate the sheets, and then I combine the two bits together there, as you can see, and then delete them. So I get left with just this one part. Now what I next did is that I added in the overhangs from Mesh Mixer because sometimes they're a little bit better and they're not so clunky and easier to take off. Again, just looking to make things a bit more efficient. So this time I managed to get some black PLA and printed a lot of them out. Including the red. So this is the bit of wood I was going to use as a bit of a support. It was one of the shelves, but I'm just going to reuse that. So this is just all about lining it up and making sure it's all nice and square and level, and cutting in some raw plug holes. Okay, the reason I've taken it back out is so that I can screw some countersinks into that, which you'll see in a minute. Meantime, I had to put in some extra raw plugs. One of the reasons why I put in a support piece of wood is so I didn't have to continually drill 9 or 10 holes into my wall. This way, if I ever take this down, it's just a couple to fill. So as you can see, a bit of a countersink. Okay, now we've got it back up again, so I'm just going to fill these gaps in so you can't see them. The bit on the right is just where I had some previous stuff that I was doing, so that's a good time to do it all. Bit of sanding, hoover underneath to try and catch it, never really works. And then a little bit of caulk underneath, just to make it look nice and tidy up. And then we get onto some paint. So luckily I had some same colour paint lying around left over from when I did the walls, so I simply added this on. Now, I am a paintbrush roll kind of guy, that's what I do, just to make it blend in a little bit better. Now you can see it's not taking very well, and this actually took 3 coats to make it look like it blended in, so I didn't film all that. Okay, well that was waiting for dry, then it's time to measure out where the gaps are in between. So just set up a few as an example. And then just a little bit of measuring. Now although I did measure it, I still use these as a bit of a guide. And again, just trying to keep it all nice and level so it doesn't look crazy. This bit was quite time consuming. I wasn't quite sure the best way to do this, but yeah. But eventually I kind of got the hang of it and ended up joining the tracks together, then screwing it in, and that seemed to work a lot better. And that's the last one. Now I've decided to stop. All left to do is just put the train back up on its tracks, and I like it a lot better. Some bits are not ideal, but I'm quite happy with it. I quite like it sitting there. So as you can see, it looks okay. Anyway, thanks for watching.